Welcome. In this video, we dive deep into some of the most expensive and iconic football stadiums ever built for the World Cup, many of which are now ghostly shells of their former glory. These billion-dollar arenas were once filled with cheers, but today, many echo with silence. Let's start in Brazil, host of the 2014 FIFA World Cup. 20. Estádio Nacional, main Garrincha. This massive structure was renovated for the World Cup at a cost of around $900 million, making it one of the most expensive stadiums in history. Located in Brazil's capital city, the stadium has a capacity of 72,788. But here's the problem. Brasilia doesn't have a major football team. Today, the stadium sits mostly empty, hosting the occasional concert, protest, or even car show. 19. Arena da Amazônia. Built in the heart of the Amazon rainforest, this stadium cost around $300 million and holds 44,000 fans. It looks stunning, with a design inspired by a native straw basket. But the logistics? Terrible. Manaus has no major team, and flying in players, officials, and fans is costly and inefficient. Since 2014, it's hosted a few lower-tier matches, church events, and concerts, but mostly it sits idle. 18. Cape Town Stadium. This stadium costs $600 million and holds around 55,000 fans. Its sleek, modern look made it one of the most photogenic venues of the tournament. But once the cameras left, the problem started. Cape Town has no football team that can consistently fill it. The stadium is now used mainly for concerts, rugby games, and the odd football match. 17. Moses Mabhida Stadium. Located in Durban, this stadium cost $440 million and can seat 56,000 people. It features a striking arch and a cable car ride that gives panoramic views of the city. Built with legacy in mind, it hosts a mix of sports, concerts, and even bungee jumping. But football use is minimal. Local team AmaZulu can't fill the seats. It's great for tourism, bad for budgets. 16. Lusail Stadium. This is the crown jewel of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Built for over $1 billion, it can host 88,966 fans. It was the stage for the 2022 final, where Argentina lifted the trophy. A stunning venue with a golden lattice design, it symbolizes the extravagance of Qatar's tournament. But with such a small population and limited football culture, Lusail faces an unclear future. 15. Kazan Arena. Located in Kazan, this stadium cost around $450 million and holds 45,379 fans. Home to Rubin Kazan, it remains in use but struggles to attract full crowds. Its massive video screen was a highlight during the World Cup. But nowadays, attendance is often poor and maintenance costs continue to rise. It's one of Russia's better utilized stadiums, yet still falls short of expectations. 14. Arena Pantanal. Located in Cuiabá, this is another Brazilian city with no top-flight team. This $260 million stadium seats 41,000 and was supposed to be a multi-use venue after the tournament. Instead, it's often empty, occasionally closed for safety repairs, and plagued by construction flaws. Cuiabá's local club, Cuiabá EC, barely fills the stands, and the venue's size and upkeep costs far exceed local needs. 13. Arena das Dunas. Located in Natal, this stadium is no better. This 32,000-seat stadium cost $220 million. Built with a design meant to mimic local sand dunes, it was one of the most visually stunning venues in 2014. But since the World Cup, the reality has been grim. Natal has no large football club to regularly fill the stadium. It's a stadium built for the world, now barely noticed by its own city. 12. Arena Corinthians. Located in São Paulo, this is one of the rare Brazilian stadiums still in use today. It cost a whopping $700 million and has a capacity of 49,205. Home to Corinthians, one of Brazil's biggest clubs, it remains active and relevant. But it came at a price. Heavy government loans and delays left the club saddled with debt. Even now, financial struggles loom large. 11. Maracana Stadium. Located in Rio de Janeiro, arguably Brazil's most iconic football ground, it received a $500 million renovation for the 2014 World Cup. With a capacity of 78,838, It's hosted World Cup finals, Olympic ceremonies, and legendary matches. But its post-World Cup life has been rocky. Management disputes, high maintenance costs, and crumbling infrastructure have forced multiple temporary closures. Although Flamengo and Fluminense play here, the upkeep outweighs the income. 10. Mineiro. Located in Belo Horizonte, the Mineiro was originally opened in 1965 but underwent a massive $300 million renovation ahead of the 2014 World Cup. It hosted 6 matches, including the infamous 7-1 Brazil versus Germany semifinal. This state-funded revamp was controversial. Today, the stadium remains active, primarily home to Cruzeiro. But maintenance costs are high, and it often struggles to turn a profit. 9. Arena Fonte Nova. In Salvador, Arena Fonte Nova rose on the site of an older stadium, completely rebuilt for the 2014 World Cup. It hosted 6 matches, but post-tournament life hasn't been kind. Despite hosting occasional Bahia home games and concerts, its financial sustainability remains shaky. The local club doesn't draw large enough crowds to fill it, and upkeep drains public funds. 8. Arena Pernambuco. This stadium was supposed to spark a wave of urban development in Recife. The World Cup venue, surrounded by unfinished buildings and unfulfilled promises, hosted 5 games in 2014. Its isolated location left it disconnected from the city's football culture. Today, it serves as the occasional home for local side Náutico, but crowds are modest. The surrounding infrastructure was never completed. Transport links remain poor. 7. Beira-Rio. One of the few success stories, Beira-Rio and Porto Alegre benefited from a $330 million renovation, mostly funded privately. The home of Internacional, it has a regular tenant and remains vibrant. The stadium hosted 5 World Cup matches and has continued hosting major fixtures. It's not without flaws, costs were high, and the renovation was plagued by delays. But unlike many of its Brazilian peers, Beira-Rio has purpose and footfall. 6. Arena de Baixada. Renovating Arena de Baixada for the 2014 World Cup turned into a bureaucratic nightmare. Disputes over costs, design changes, and labor issues led to delays and spiraling budgets. The final bill hit $230 million. But questions linger over whether the price tag was worth it for a stadium that mostly hosts domestic league matches drawing average crowds. It's a usable venue, but hardly a financial success story. 5. Costello. Fortaleza's Costello was modernized for the World Cup at a cost of $270 million. It staged 6 matches and drew praise for its design. However, the stadium's post-tournament life has been rocky. Although still used by Serra and Fortaleza, average attendance rarely fills even half the stadium. High operational costs weigh heavily on local budgets. A prime example of how big doesn't always mean better. Costello has struggled to justify its upgrade. 4. Stadium 974. This was Qatar's boldest World Cup experiment. Made from 974 shipping containers, it was a modular stadium built for easy disassembly. Hosting 7 matches during the 2022 tournament, it was praised for sustainability. Post-tournament, it's gone. Dismantled completely, making it the only major venue in modern World Cup history to be entirely removed. No lingering maintenance costs, no white elephant. 3. Al Bayt Stadium. One of the crown jewels of the 2022 Qatar World Cup, Al Bayt was built to resemble a traditional Bedouin tent. It hosted the opening game and several major fixtures. But Al Khor is a small town, and the massive 68,000-seat stadium sees minimal use today. Post-tournament, Qatar floated plans to convert parts of it into a 5-star hotel and shopping complex. 2. Mordovia Arena. Built for the 2018 World Cup, Mordovia Arena in Saransk was meant to put this obscure city on the map. It hosted 4 group stage matches. Since then, it's been home to FC Mordovia, a club that was dissolved due to debt. The stadium now hosts local matches with a fraction of its capacity. Maintenance costs dwarf revenue. It stands as one of Russia's most glaring white elephants. 1. Kaliningrad. This was another 2018 project, built on unstable marshland. Engineers had to reinforce the site extensively, causing costs to balloon. It hosted 4 World Cup games. Now, it's home to FC Baltica, a small club with low attendance. The stadium is too big for the local needs. Rainfall and poor drainage frequently affect its pitch. Critics call it a high-cost project with little local return. In the end, these stadiums tell a sobering story. Nations spent billions chasing glory, hoping to impress the world. But once the fans and cameras disappeared, so did the purpose. While a few arenas have found steady use, most are now underused, overbuilt, or outright abandoned. They were built for a moment, but they weren't built to last. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.